Yo, what up? Eric Galaxy here. Before we get into the good stuff, so my girlfriend talked me into watching this show called Yellowstone. I had seen the prequel, I guess you would call it. It was called 1883, I think. I saw that because I kind of like that kind of historical stuff. But anyways, so she told me, oh, you've got to watch this Yellowstone, it's really good. Now, granted, she comes from a background of cowgirl, ranch stuff, you know, so she's into that kind of thing. So, like, I'm going, okay, well, you know, the NBA is kind of over. The NBA season is over for me. The NHL season is over for me because both my teams are out, and I really don't care about any of the other teams. As long as the Lakers lose. But other than that, yeah, so I've got a few hours extra time on my hands to watch stuff. So yeah, so I started watching Yellowstone. My first impression is that it's kind of a Cowboys Sopranos type of thing, only a little more soap opera-ish. Soap opera-ish? Is that a word? Soap opera-ish? I don't know. I think if you add ish to a word, it seems to make it a little bit real, better, right? I don't know. Anyways, soap opera-ish. But anyways, yeah, it's kind of come to the point where I'm invested in it. I'm watching it, but it's kind of like a movie where the movie kind of like, yeah, okay, maybe, but you want to watch the movie till the end because you want to know how it all turns out. So, yeah, so I'm going to keep on trucking through it, and I think I'm on season 3 right now, so, you know, I don't know. She keeps telling me, oh, you're going to like this part and blah, blah, blah. We'll see. But, yeah, Yellowstone. Season 3. Yeehaw! Pew, 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 pew. I don't know why I just did that, but it just seemed appropriate. Alright, so there wasn't a show last week because I was having a little fun. Wink, wink, little fun. You know what I mean? Know what I mean? But Reggie Bush getting his Heisman Trophy back was a lot of talk a couple weeks ago. There's some people that say, oh, well, it's not that big of a deal because we already knew that he won the trophy. You know, there was no taking away the fact that he won the Heisman Trophy that year because he was a great running back. But it was taken away from him because of improprieties. I won't go into the details or whatever, but rules were broken or whatever. Rules that nowadays are encouraged. So I guess that's why they gave it back to him, because it was like, oh, all these guys get NIL money and they're getting houses and millions of dollars in commercials and everything, and we took this trophy away from the guy because of a house situation or whatever. Maybe we messed up. Of course, they didn't put it that way. They didn't say we messed up. They just kind of tried to put a spin on it to make it look like, oh, well, it was always in the works. Whatever. The interesting thing about it, though, was the reason he got it back, the big push, was because ex-Heisman winners were basically saying, if you don't give the trophy back to him, we're not going to show up at all these functions anymore. There was Johnny Manziel was one name, Matt Leinart, Tim Tebow was another name. It's kind of interesting because I wonder, those guys all won the Heisman Trophy after Reggie Bush won his Heisman Trophy. So I'm kind of wondering what the older Heisman Trophy winners thought about that. Because maybe they're, well, I don't know, screw that, well, he broke the rules and blah, blah, blah. And so, but anyways, good for him, he got it back. Heisman Trophy is on his mantle now and everything. It kind of makes me wonder about other situations kind of like this, where teams had to forfeit championships or wins because of basically the same thing. you know, giving away jerseys for tattoos or whatever. I mean, the Fab Four, you know, had to vacate a whole bunch of wins. Louisville had to vacate its championship. I guess it was Coach Boeheim from Syracuse. Anyways, it goes on and on. So is the NCAA all of a sudden going to go, you know what? We're going to give it all back to you. Here you go. Here you go. And then let's look outside of sports. What about all those guys that are in jail for selling marijuana? Do all of a sudden, you're out, you can go now, because what they were doing was illegal at the time, but now there's pretty much a pot store on every corner. They're like freaking Starbucks. So I'm just wondering if that's going to have any ramifications farther on down the line with sports and pot dealers. Pot dealers. Alright, so obviously the big news this past week was the NFL draft. Yeah, I kind of have a bittersweet feeling about the NFL draft because you see a lot of these mock drafts from mock people that lead up to the draft, and so you get a lot of chatter about what's supposed to go on and what's not going on and who's getting picked first, and they all have different ideas about who's going where, type of thing, who's trading up and who's trading down. So I'm kind of like, I don't care about what you think's going to happen. I would rather like to see it actually happen. So it's kind of interesting in that way. And then you have something totally blows your mind where, oh, I don't know, a team picks a quarterback with the number 8 pick, a quarterback that a lot of people thought was going to be later first round at best, but then number 8 pick him. Oh, and by the way, they just signed a veteran quarterback to a $100 million guaranteed deal. What's up with that? So yeah, I mean, it's kind of like a spectacle. It's kind of a little bit interesting to watch. But like I said, after the first round, I'm pretty much it's on as background noise to me. I did watch the Pat McAfee spectacular draft thing featuring Bill Belichick, which was pretty cool. Anybody who's ever watched football and the New England Patriots and Bill Belichick as a coach knows that he's pretty much not a man of a lot of words during interviews. And a lot of times those words are pretty much incoherent. But on this show, man, he was like killing it. He was like chatterbox, boo, 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 breaking things down, talking about this, talking about that. It was pretty refreshing to see him doing that. I mean, who knew, right? I mean, of course, I'm pretty sure the people that are close to him knew, but regular Joe like me, not so much. But yeah, that was pretty interesting. One thing I gotta say, the Minnesota Vikings sure traded up to get J.J. McCarthy as their quarterback. I don't think he's that good. I mean, I was gonna try to put it politely, but yeah, I'd be surprised if he doesn't become a journeyman backup quarterback for his time. Not like a Marcus Mariota or Jameis Winston or something like that. But we'll see. One of the weird things that I saw was Warren Moon, ex-Houston Oilers quarterback, coming out to announce the Tennessee Titans pick. That was weird because he never played for the Tennessee Titans. And even though the Houston Oilers moved to Tennessee and became, well, they were the Tennessee Oilers, I think, for the first year. And then they were the Tennessee Titans after that. It was just because they were the franchise, I guess. Right now my mind is going, what? I'm trying to put the two and two together. There are people, a lot of people that are pissed off that the Tennessee Titans, when they wear throwback jerseys, when all the teams wear the throwback jerseys, that they wear Houston Oilers jerseys. There's a lot of people that do not like that at all. I'm trying to see if I can equate it with like the Cleveland Browns moving to Baltimore and becoming the Baltimore Ravens, but then all of a sudden Cleveland got a team back, but do they? And they're both in the record. Are all the players in the record books for both, for one team or the other? I don't know. Just crazy. But it was really weird seeing him do that because I know there are a lot of people that do not like the fact that the Tennessee Titans wear Houston Oilers uniforms during Throwback Week. So that was kind of odd. But so yeah, I mean, the draft happened. Everybody now thinks they did really, really good. As far as general managers are concerned. Of course, you hear a lot of fans, why did he pick that guy? Why did they pick that guy? Who's that guy? What, huh? I mean, the Donovan McNabb situation all over again for a few teams out there. But, yeah, we'll see. Like I said, some of them will be busts, and some of them will be not. Alright, so most of you that know me know that I'm a cleophile, which means that I like commercials. And yes, I did make that word up. The latest commercial to ruffle my feathers is the Ruffles commercial, where the daughter is goading the dad into doing stuff so that he can get the Ruffles in the bag that she's got or whatever. And it's like, first of all, why is he upping his game for what? And second of all, you're the father, go grab the freaking bag of Ruffles. You paid for them, alright? So why they're trying to make out the dad to be some kind of buffoon or lame or whatever, it's just beyond me. I mean, I understand commercials try to be funny sometimes, but you know, if that was you in this situation, would you be laughing? I don't think so. Another commercial that has me curious is the whole Draymond Green basketball court thing where the backboard is facing a cliff. Not sure why you would do that. I mean, I guess if you think you're that good and you're never going to miss a shot, okay. Knowing Draymond Green, hopefully he's not taking too many three-pointers. Yeah, it's why do you have a backboard facing a cliff? That's great. If you think you're gonna make everything and it's gonna be fine, okay. But you're giving the ball to your daughter, who looks to be about, I don't know, 10 years old, I guess. And you know she's not gonna make every shot. You know that ball's gonna go over the cliff. So why the freak do you have your backboard facing a cliff? I mean, you're a millionaire. You could at the very least, if you're going to be building a basketball court facing a cliff, the very least you could do is maybe build a wall? Some kind of fence or something? Just wondering. But, you know, car commercials. Go figure. Speaking of car commercials, I don't believe a car commercial has ever induced me to go buy a car or that car in particular or anything. I mean, I have shopped for cars before, and it's pretty much I go, you know, and look around and see what I like and who's got a good deal and what I want, yada yada yada. So I'm not going to run right out and buy whatever car it is just because somebody's saying, hey, come and buy our car and here's a interesting commercial to go along with it. I mean, really, can anybody tell me, I would like to know. I would like to know anybody who bought a car based on a commercial. Really. I'd be interested to find that out. Because, I mean, I guess if you got the money to throw down for no reason, I mean, okay. But, yeah, car commercials. And still, hey, I'm still pissed off about that stupid Viking family driving the cars. Like, are they Vikings? Are they not Vikings? Are they roleplay? Are they cosplaying? What are they doing? And why do they have a wolf in the car? And what's up with this Shea what's his name? Shea basketball player. Basketball player. Shea Gilgeous-Alexander / Chet Holmgren video for, I don't even know what it's for, but is it cool? Is it not cool? Is it okay or is it stupid? I mean, it's kind of one of those weird. It's kind of like Yellowstone. It's like, I don't know if it's good or not. I don't know. All right, so let's get into my shorts. All right, so speaking of the NHL, the Phoenix Coyotes are moving to Utah, and they're going to have a new name. So there's a lot of speculation around to what the new Utah hockey team is going to be named. There's a couple of interesting ideas. One's the Soakers, and the other one is the Quakers. And now you might be wondering, what does that have to do with Utah? Well, apparently, how do I put this delicately? Soaking and quaking are forms of Mormon intercourse. I won't get into the details about it. Okay, I'm gonna get into the details about it. Apparently, if you're a Mormon, you can't have sex before you are married. So, but there are ways around it. You can have, as long as there's no motion, thrusting motion going on, then it's considered okay. So there's a thing where soaking basically means you just kind of, well, use your imagination. You kind of like, you put it in there, and then you just leave it there, and that's okay. As long as you're not doing the old, ooh, ooh, ooh. That's soaking. Quaking is when you do the soaking, but then somebody, like a bunk bed or something like that, and then somebody gets under there and kicks the bunk bed so there's movement, but it's not your movement voluntarily, so that's called quaking. I know, right? So anyways, yeah, Soakers and Quakers, Utah hockey. So Aaron Boone was ejected from a game this past week because a fan in the stands said something to the umpire. The umpire thought that Boone had said it and threw him out of the game. This is another argument for why we should have robot umpires. Because robot umpires, they don't care if you heckle them. I know there's a lot of people that say, well, umpires are part of the human part of the game. But you know what? There's a lot of human parts of stuff that technology has taken over the past, well, forever. So, like if the Egyptians had this technology, they would have used it back then. Okay? So don't give me that about, oh, well, people will lose their jobs. And well, people have lost their jobs to technology for thousands and thousands of years. So that's not a good argument. My favorite heckle that I like to use when I go to the ballpark is when the opposing batter fouls off a couple of pitches, I will say, "Hit it with your head, you'll get more wood on it." That sometimes elicits a few chuckles in the audience. So this past week, one of the coaches of a hockey team after a playoff game was a little mad about the officiating or whatever, and said something about, well, that's how we're going to play the game, then we should all just be wearing skirts. And there was a lot of people that got their panties in a bunch because they thought it was what's that word? Misogynistic? I have a hard time saying that word. I can say Worcestershire, but anyways. Yeah, so there was a whole... When you're old like me, you kind of like, things are kind of like, you just take them with a grain of salt and kind of chuckle. I mean, we all know that wearing skirts doesn't mean that, I mean, it's just it's a form of expression. We all know that women are tough and they can do this and they can play sports and everything. Not as good as men, but they can still play sports and be tough, and you know, women hockey players do not wear skirts. Well, unless you're playing field hockey, I think. Is that still a thing? I remember high school, the girls field hockey team, they wore skirts. But anyways, so I mean, but people get all riled about this kind of stuff. It just, you gotta lighten up, Francis. Lighten up, Francis. And also, that whole thing has nothing to do with misogyny. Look up the definition of misogyny. It doesn't mean anything about wearing skirts or somebody not wearing skirts or whatever. Look it up. Look it up. Speaking of skirts, Nelly Korda has a 5-match winning streak going on in the LPGA, the Ladies Professional Golf Association. Why is it called the Ladies Professional Golf Association and not the Women's Professional Golf Association? I mean, you got the WNBA, Women's National Basketball, whatever. So women's, ladies, because in basketball, a lot of the women's college teams are called the Lady whatever mascot might be, like the Lady Tigers, or the Lady Vols, or the Lady, I don't know. I'm pretty sure there's a few more, Lady this, Lady that. So why is it the Women's National Basketball Association, not the ladies? What's the difference between a lady and a woman? Just curious. But yeah, so apparently she is being compared to Anna Sornstrom and Nancy Lopez, who are generally considered like two of the best golfers, women golfers ever. Well, then you can add in what's her name? That she was from the 40s and 50s. Babe Didrikson, I think her name was. Yeah. She not only played golf, she played basketball. She actually pitched in Major League Baseball games. She won some Olympic track field medals. Yeah. Anyways, but yeah. So whatever happened to Rose Zhang? Rose Zhang. She was supposed to be the new up and coming golfer. She won her first tournament, but I haven't heard nothing about her since then. So, but like I said, I don't pay attention to that women's golf stuff anyways, but just heard about it. So last week the NCAA basically capitulated on the whole transfer portal thing, basically saying there's no waiting period. You can go where you want to go. You want to go there, you want to go there. You can play next year, you can play next year. There's no waiting period no matter how many times you want to transfer. So if you want to transfer your freshman, sophomore, junior, senior year, every single year, 5th year option, whatever, I'm pretty sure that's in there someplace. If you get injured, you can do that. You can go and transfer as much as you want. So they pretty much, that NCAA football is, this is what you would call the beginning of the end. It's going down. It's going down a heap, yeah. So, and finally, is anybody watching the UFL? I mean, I tried to watch it, but I just, like, after 5 minutes, I'm like trying to find reruns of Family Feud or something. So I don't know. I don't know how long this is gonna last. I don't know. All right, that's our show for tonight. Before I go, two things. One, WWE is not a sport. Quit treating it like it's a sport. It's not a sport. It's rigged. It's predispositioned. Alright? So when you treat it like, oh, he just won 15 titles, look how many belts he has. Those belts were all rigged. They were all preordained, okay? It's all in the script, okay? So quit treating entertainment. The E in WWE means entertainment. So quit treating it like it's a sport. I mean, I just saw this thing of Patrick Mahomes showing up at some event and bringing his Super Bowl rings. First of all, why would Patrick Mahomes be showing up at a WWE event with his 3 rings? Just, oh, I'm going to wear with 3 rings. And then giving them to this guy so he go punch a guy in the face. Which we know was all rigged. Come on. I mean, I'm not saying they don't get hurt. I'm not saying that it's a tough thing to do. I'm not saying that they're not athletes. I'm just saying it's all rigged as far as who wins. Okay? And we all know it. And everybody knows it. So quit treating it like it's like, oh my God, he just won that bout. Stop it. Stop it. Jim Plunkett, Hall of Fame.